Hey, what's up guys, it's Bakes and thank you for joining me for today's unboxing video. Today's unboxing is actually a little bit different from ones that I've done in the past on my channel before. Usually it's horror movies or sometimes music, but today it's actually books. And I'm not the biggest book reader in general, so altogether this is just very different for me. But I'm super excited to get into this today. Today I am unboxing the original series of Goosebumps books. That's why I'm rocking my shirt here today. I was a big fan of the book series growing up, and same with the TV show, which I'm sure many of you were as well. But as I said, super excited to get into this today. It was actually this morning I got the opportunity to pick up a bulk amount of random original series Goosebumps books. So original releases with the original cover art. Just really rare to come across, especially here in Australia. A lot of the books that you can pick up now are re-releases and stuff. But I always knew that I wanted to get original releases of the original series. Now off to my side here is a bag of roughly 35 to 45 books, could be a little bit more, a little bit less. And I actually don't know any of the titles that are in this bag. And you might be wondering, why'd you pick up a bulk amount of random books? Like, wouldn't you want to know what titles you're getting? No, purely because I only own one original Goosebumps series book, and that's Welcome to Dead House. So I knew there was a chance I was going to double up on one book. But the person that I brought them off, they were asking a very reasonable price for original releases with the original cover arts. So I didn't mind doubling up on one. As I said, I knew for the longest time I wanted to collect the original series anyway. I read them all the time growing up. From this original series, I think there's 63 books, something like that. I've actually only read over a decent handful of them, but I'm very aware of the book titles and what they are, but just not what's in this bag. So super excited to get into it today. So without delaying any longer, let's get into this Goosebumps original series unboxing. Alright, so let's get this underway. Because there are so many books, I'm going to try and make this quick. If there's a book that I have read before or know a little bit about, I'll speak on it, but otherwise, as I said, I'll try and make this as quick as possible. And also just a quick reminder, this is all random. I don't know what books are in here. I don't know what's going to be coming out next, but yeah, try and do it as quick as possible. So the first one in here is actually one I have read before, and it is Monster Blood 3. So I probably would have read this in like grade 3 or 4. If I remember right, I don't think I finished this book, but either way, cool one to pull out first since I have a knowledge on it. But as I said, I was super happy that these are original releases with the original cover arts, because how cool are the original cover arts, and they're just so iconic. I believe they're done by Tim Jacobus. There should be a signature somewhere on the... oh yeah, right there in the shadow. Tim Jacobus. They're just all so fucking detailed, and they look so awesome, and yeah, just so iconic. So yeah, I just love looking at the cover arts and the little taglines. Evan's growing up way too fast. Yeah, wrapped. Alright, so the first one I have read before, Monster Blood 3. Next we have It Came From Beneath the Sink. This is one I haven't read before, but again, just cover art so cool. Little tagline on the front, it's warm, it's breathing, and it doesn't do the dishes. And they always have one on the back as well. I'll read the taglines on the front just for something to say on them, but never read It Came From Beneath the Sink. Next up, an iconic character from the series, Night of the Living Dummy 2. I actually own a fair few Goosebumps shirts. I have this one, which is Night of the Living Dummy 3, which is actually one of my favourite books from the original series, which I know a lot of people kind of don't like Living Dummy 3, but I do. It was actually a book that kind of scared me as well, I'm not going to lie. But I have this shirt, I have Curse of Camp Coldblood, and I also have Night of the Living Dummy 2 shirt. So hopefully Living Dummy 3 is somewhere in here, but I guess we'll see. But tagline for this one is, he's still walking and he's still stalking. So yeah, cool. And I just love the colour palettes as well, like the green and the pink, and yeah, really cool. Alright, next up, The Barking Ghost. Again, just really cool, the red and the grey. So detailed on the artwork. The tagline in this one is, bad dog, really bad dog. Yeah, cool. Never read that one either. Next up, this is one again, I think I started reading when I was younger, but just never finished. And I remember the cover always used to creep me out because the dude looks like a fucking massive creeper. But The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam. The tagline for this one is, Tennis, ping pong, monsters, anyone? Yeah, doesn't he just look like the biggest creep? Get away from me. But I don't think I finished this one either, but yeah, cool. Another one I think I read when I was younger. Either I didn't finish them or I just don't remember them very well. But here we have Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. Again, just the cover arts are just hypnotizing. Like, you can't take your eyes off them. There's always something to look at. The tagline for this one is "Keep off their grass." Awesome. And so far, they all seem to be in like really good conditions. There's like a bit of fading in the color of the pages, but I mean, if they're original releases and everything, you kind of just expect that. Next up, a shocker on Shock Street. Yep. It's a real dead end is the caption for that one. But again, just so cool. Just look at the covers of them all day. Cool one. The Haunted Mask 2. I remember the episode for this one on TV. Not as good as the original Haunted Mask book or episode, but I'm pretty sure I remember this one fairly well. The caption for this one is "New Face, Old Nightmare." Awesome. Alright. The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. Cool. The caption for this one: "He's no fun in the sun." And then the back caption is "Forget Frosty." Yeah. Sorry again that I don't have much to comment on some of these. Some of them I do remember, like, kind of reading when I was younger, but yeah, it's just been such a long time, and it's kind of vague in my head. Though this is one I did read when I was younger. How I Got My Shrunken Head, and one of my favourite cover arts. It's just so creepy and iconic, and "Heads up" is the little tagline. But yeah, such a cool one, and I remember liking this book if I remember right. Yeah. Alright, next up we have Bad Hair Day. Again, just super iconic cover, and they've got like a bit of fluff on them, but that's alright. He's No Easter Bunny. I've never read this one. I don't know, like an evil rabbit. Something to do with magic, I'm guessing, but cool. Next up, another one that I've never read before, and this one seems a bit thick. It's because it's got like a little bookmark stickers in the middle. That's cool. It's also got a like raisin or something stuck on the top. As I said, I got them all secondhand, so I knew they weren't going to be great, but still. Egg Monsters from Mars. I'm not sure if I said the title for this one. And "They're no yolk" is the tagline there. Awesome. One I never read growing up, but I do remember always seeing this one in the library. The cover never really spoke to me, but Legend of the Lost Legend. Finders Keepers is the little tagline there. Yeah, I remember always seeing this one in the library when I was in like primary school and whatever, but yeah, it never screamed to me, so I never read that one. Another one I always used to see in the library but never read. How I Learned to Fly. So cool. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a kid. Yeah, and I always tried to avoid the ones that didn't really seem horror. Like this one just, yeah, it seemed more like fantasy or whatever, so yeah, one I avoided for that reason, I'm sure. Oh, okay, one not from the original Goosebumps series, but interesting nevertheless. Tales to Give You Goosebumps. I remember seeing this one in the library, never read it, but it's got 10 spooky stories in it, so I guess it's just like Goosebumps short stories or something. I don't know. The cover is actually really cool. Really detailed and everything. Awesome. Okay. I don't mind having like some extra things thrown in there that aren't original series, but cool. And here we have another one, actually. Series 2000. I Am Your Evil Twin. Look at I was aware of this series, I just didn't know that there was going to be extra ones thrown in this bag, but yeah. Caption for this one, he's one deadly double. Yeah, awesome. Okay. Alright, let's keep this going. And there we go, I guess I do have a duplicate. Welcome to Dead House. Yeah, this is the latest Goosebumps book I've read. For the longest time, I actually only owned Goosebumps Horrorland, a later installment in the book franchise. Though I had read, as I said, many of the original series, they're the only books I actually owned. But I got the chance to pick up Welcome to Dead House not too long ago, read it not too long ago, and yeah, really enjoyed it. So I guess there we have a double. Next we have, here we go, Stay Out of the Basement. For the longest time I almost actually picked this one up off eBay or something, purely because this is book 2 in the franchise, and I was just like, oh, well, might as well pick them up in sequence. There's Something Waiting in the Dark. Yeah, that's awesome. And the episode for this one on TV is like genuinely creepy. Like, I'm not sure if anyone's seen the TV episode, but like that ending, like where it's left very ambiguous. Oh, that freaked me out as a kid. Next one, here we have Monster Blood, which I'm actually not sure if I've read Monster Blood. I know I've read at least a little bit of Monster Blood 3, but I'm not sure about this one. It's a Monster Blood drive is the little tagline, but again, just the cover arts are so awesome. I'm never going to let it go. The cover arts are just amazing, and the color scheme, the orange and the blue, awesome. Keep this going. Say Cheese and Die, a classic. Have read this one, very enjoyable, and again a very enjoyable episode on TV. The tagline is, "One picture is worth 1,000 screams." Awesome. Just love the detail. There's always just something to look at on the covers. Next up, Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. I remember this one was always in the library as well when I was a kid. And even though this one is definitely more horror themed, I remember always moving away from this one just because it looked a little bit bland. Never read it. What Will Wake the Dead is the little tagline, but yeah, interesting. This one again feels a little bit thicker. There's no bookmarks or anything through this one. I guess it's just a longer book, but Let's Get Invisible. Now you see him, now you don't. Yeah. Keep it short and sharp. Not too aware of that one. Hello. A fan favourite. Night of the Living Dummy. Slappy is the man. Caption is, he walks, he stalks. A little bit of a boring cover, honestly, but I love the detail on Slappy's face. And he's an icon of the Goosebumps franchise, of course. Yeah. Awesome. Next up. Another book that I don't think I finished when I was younger. I'm sure you're going to hear a lot of that, and you've heard a lot of that already, but what's it called? The Girl Who Cried Monster. And again, this is one with actually a really creepy episode. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would remember the episode for this one, because I'm pretty sure it's a fan favourite as well, but yeah, Girl Who Cried Monster. Awesome. Let's keep this going. Sorry, as I said, guys, I'm trying to make it quick, not talk too much about the ones I don't know, and the ones that I do know, keep it short and sharp. I'm at 12 minutes at least for this part of the video. Welcome to Camp Nightmare. Always one of my favourite cover arts. It's just so fucking cool. And the tagline is, "It's the little camp of horrors." Yeah. Again, just the green tent with the light coming through, the creepy hand, the blue and the purple. It's just so cool and iconic. Alright, next up we have The Ghost Next Door. A book that I did read, very iconic. Tagline, there's a strange new kid on the block. You also got to keep in mind these original series Goosebumps books. yeah, the ones that I have read are still just very not fresh in my mind. I'm sure I'm just repeating myself. A lot of stuff as well. Next up here we have The Haunted Mask, possibly the most iconic book up there with Night of the Living Dummy. One of the most iconic episodes. Probably the best episode of the show, if I'm being honest. Genuinely creepy, really enjoyable, but yeah, the book's awesome as well. If looks could kill, is the little tagline there. Awesome. I don't know how many books I've done so far, but yeah, I'm guessing that there's closer to 45 because there's still a fair bit left in the bag. Be careful what you wish for. I think if I remember right, a little trivia, this is one of the cover arts not done by Tim Jacobus, and you can kind of tell because that face is a bit junky. Tagline, it might come true. But yeah, cool. Alright. Piano lessons can be murder. Don't know too much about this one. I don't think this is one that was in the library, but I'm sure I would have avoided this one when I was a kid. It just doesn't look too interesting, but I guess we'll see. Tagline, play it again, hands. Yeah. Awesome. Next up. Oh yeah. One of the coolest, one of the cooler cover arts that I remember seeing. The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. That is awesome. Like the glowing green swamp, mix it with the green border with the grey of the spine and the werewolf. I just think that's awesome. And one of the better episodes as well. I think it was done in 2 parts. Werewolf of Fever Swamp, the episode. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Little tagline there. Oh man. And if you have anything to say about any of these books, feel free to drop them in the comments. Here we have one that I remember another kid reading this one when I was in school, and I was always asking him if I could read it after him, and guess he was a bit of a dog because he never fucking let me read it. But You Can't Scare Me. Yeah, that one looks kind of cool. Never read it, obviously, because All Mate didn't want to share. They're coming for you is the tagline. One that I did read, so excited for this one, and someone has left a little card in the middle of it. Not a Goosebumps card. Peril City, Tattoos and Piercings. One Day at Horrorland. Yes, have read this book again, very vague in my mind, don't remember it very well. Again, a 2-parter episode of the series. Enter If You Dare. One I avoided like the plague in school. I remember never wanting to pick this one up because it looked so cringe. Why I'm Afraid of Bees. I remember this one so well. Never read this book. I remember it being again in the primary school library at school. And I'd always be like, oh, I wonder what new Goosebumps books are there, because it would sort of always change what was on the shelves and whatever. And this one was always there, and I'd be like, no, because I don't know, that just doesn't interest me. The cover kind of looks weird. I don't know. I'll give it a shot. He's no ordinary human being. Yeah, I avoided this one like the plague. I remember that really well. Fucking hell. That was a trip down memory lane. I was like, almost had a heart attack just looking at the cover. Monster Blood 2. If I remember right, no, there's 4 Monster Blood books. Okay, I was going to say, I think I have them all now, but Monster Blood 2. He's one hungry hamster. Awesome. I could just look at the cover arts all day. They're awesome. Alright. Deep Trouble. I don't think I read this one, if I'm being honest, but... And so far, this probably seems to be the one in the worst condition. Like, this top corner's a bit junked up, and looks like there's been a coffee spill in the top corner, but... I mean, again, just... This is, like, probably, like, the worst conditioned one, and it's not that bad, so... Pretty happy. The tagline for that one was... Just when you thought it was safe. Dot dot dot. Guessing to go back in the water. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. Another iconic episode of it. I'm trying to think if I'm thinking of the right episode, but The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. It's a Field of Screams. Really iconic cover art again. I always remembered this one. Super detailed, awesome. One of the creepier cover arts as well. You know, me just being the horror fan, I always liked the ones that actually sort of gave you goosebumps. Go Eat Worms. Not too aware of this one. Homework has never... Sorry, it's got something stuck on it. Homework was never this gross before. Sorry, I had to like rub a smudge off it, but yeah. Now let me feel the bag one. Okay, it's somewhat lighter, so we've got surely not too many left. Ghost Beach. That title has always made me laugh, like Ghost, but like Spooky Beach. I don't know. No swimming, no surfing, no haunting. It's a cool cover though. Got a sneeze coming. It's all the dust coming out of the book. Out of the bag. As I said, many of these books are dusty. Return of the Mummy. Awesome. So I'm guessing this is the sequel to whatever that other mummy one was. He's back from the dead. Little tagline. Cool. Really like the neons in that one. The green and the blue. Awesome. Phantom of the Auditorium. This is again one that I always saw in the library. Not like the B one that I avoided like the plague. However, I wasn't jumping to this one again. It just didn't seem very horror to me. I don't know. He's out to stop the show for good. Yeah. I'm starting to feel like Night of the Living Dummy 3 is not going to be in there, which, as I said, was just a childhood favourite of mine. Attack of the Mutant. He's no superhero. He's a super villain. Yeah. Again, I never read this one, but I'm sure this was one I sort of would have put off again as a kid, just it doesn't scream horror. This is one kind of like the B one I avoided. Again, not like the plague, but it just seemed a bit... What? My Hairiest Adventure. The episode for this one is so good but bad. Like it's not as good. It's not good, but it's so bad it's good. Tagline: It keeps growing and growing and growing. I remember the episode of this one more than the book. I don't think I ever read the book. He was like turns into a dog or something, if I remember right. And there's 2 left. I'm just going to pull them both out. Okay, so no Night of the Living Dummy 3. But, here we got The Cuckoo Clock of Doom. Cool. Keep your eye on the birdie. Cool. That's actually, like, really good perspective. That's good. Alright, and last one. Night in Terror Tower. Yeah. It's gonna be a long night, is the tagline. Cool little hunchback executioner character. Yeah. Alright, there we go. Went through the whole bag. As I said, I tried to make it as quick as possible. Sorry if that was like a little bit boring and I wasn't too interactive. As I said, the books that I have read, I was hoping to possibly even say a little bit more, but they're just so vague and sort of rough in my head. I don't remember them too well. And again, a lot of them I haven't read. But hopefully, you know, I commented quite well through it and, you know, kept it somewhat entertaining. But let me know your thoughts on these books. If you were a fan, let me know your favourite book from the original series. As I said, it was cool to actually have some not from the original series, I guess. You got Series 2000 and whatever this one is. Tales to Give You Goosebumps, I guess just like an anthology book. But yeah, cool to have some extra stuff in there. Thank you for joining me, guys. I'll try and wrap this up just short and sharp, but thank you for joining me. Again, just comment whatever you want. I appreciate everyone who is subscribing and liking and yeah, all that stuff. So see you for another video soon, guys, and peace.